Forget gurus. Forget anyone claiming to be an online business expert without going through the challenges of entrepreneurship themselves. The Real Money, Real Business podcast is here to prove the best insights in online business comes from your fellow online business builders. We dig into stories of entrepreneurs selling their business on the Empire Flippers marketplace so that you can learn how they made their business profitable, how they overcame obstacles, and what lessons they learned in their online journey. If you want to take your business and your knowledge to the next level, you've come to the right podcast. Let's get started.
Hello everyone, Craig here with another great business to discuss in this episode of the Real Money, Real Business podcast. Today's guest is Pierre and he's selling his info product business on the Empire Flippers marketplace. So welcome to the show, Pierre. How are you doing today?
Hi Craig, I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great, thank you for asking. And I'm looking forward to talking more about your business. But before we dive in, let's go over a brief summary of the business. It's an info product business in the news and education niche created in January 2020. The average monthly revenue for the business is $15,153 and it makes an average of $6,374 net profit each month. For everyone listening, you can visit empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 52066 to learn more about the business, or you can unlock this listing to start your due diligence if you're interested in purchasing this asset. So now that I've given a general overview of the business, let's have a look at what's included in the sale. We have the domain including all site content and files, an email list with over 600,000 users, freelancer contact details and SOPs. Okay, Pierre, now let's hear from you. Can you tell us a little about your background in building and running online businesses?
Yeah, I started my first website when I was 15 years old. If we remember the $1 Million page. So I did a version for this website in my local town and I started selling like pixels for my friends and family. And this is when I got hooked in the internet business. And since then, I've been doing websites and mobile apps. And the ones that succeed, I sell them offline or online to people I know or I don't know. And right now we are doing business with Empire Flippers and selling the website through them.
Okay, that's quite an inspirational story, starting so young. So what sort of websites have you created and what business models?
Yeah, so my first website I spoke about, my second website was a real estate website where you can list your like apartment or a land for sale or rent. My third website was something like Craigslist. My fourth, if you want, asset was a mobile app. I don't want to name it. It's very close to Clubhouse, like 95% close to Clubhouse in 2016. Which I sold in 2018.
Okay, excellent stuff. And how did you come up with the idea to start this business in particular that we have for sale today?
So I was with my friends and we wanted to do like an online educational test and we did not find a reliable educational test. And we went through several websites, so we ended up creating our own, which I did.
Yeah, so you've built the business up to this point. So how come you are selling it at this point instead of keeping the business on and growing it?
Well, good question, Craig. The reason I'm selling it is because I'm pursuing my dream app that I came up with, an idea I came up with like 4 years ago, but it needed funding. And it's a dating app that I'm creating right now, and I need the bulk money. So I need to exit my current website. So I need the money for developers, servers, and whatever to run the business. So if I wasn't doing my dating app, I wouldn't exit the business for sure.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And this business is quite young, but it's earning very well. It's very profitable. What would you attribute that success to? Is it because you've filled a hole in a niche that had high demand, or is it because of the growth strategies you employed in the business? What would you attribute the business's success to?
Of course, we filled the hole. Like the website was in a kind of a blue ocean, and this helped us scale at first. And what helped us more is the website was all automated, so the users didn't need to go through any process of like creating an account or contacting support. You can easily use the service on our educational website test to reach the desired outcome. And what led us to the success is the difference between our educational tests and other educational tests, which we worked on with professionals to create it.
Okay, yeah, excellent stuff. That's definitely a good way to get an edge over the competition, having some experts in the field. So it sounds like the website has been developed very well. The freelancer contracts are included in the sale. Is that for the developers who help you build the website?
Okay, so we hired several freelancers. We hired freelancers to write us the articles. We hired freelancers to do us some designs. But the main freelancer, which is working still on the website, is the developer. So the developer is willing to move with the new buyer as a freelancer, not as a full-time worker.
Excellent. Wow, that's good for a potential buyer to know. Is there anything you learned from this business that you will apply to future websites or businesses?
I learned too many things in this business. If I want to take two things, the first one would be that Google Ads, like whenever you lack understanding in SEO, Google Ads can help you at first. And the second thing is SEO is king. We'll definitely work on SEO in my future projects.
Excellent stuff. Is there anything you tried with this business that didn't work?
What I learned is for educational websites, I will not use like Taboola or Outbrain to generate leads, and Google Ads is the way to go along with SEO.
Okay, so is it the majority of your traffic comes from SEO?
Well, actually, this is a good question. Mainly like 1% of my traffic comes from SEO. Like 98, 99% comes from Google Ads. So this is a plus for the buyer. I did not work on SEO. This is why I'm saying SEO is king, because I can see my competitors, how they are doing. With SEO, they are doing much better than me. But SEO is not my game. I did not find the right person to work on SEO. I do not know any SEO. So I only focused on Google Ads.
And on that line of thought, SEO seems to be a growth strategy that someone could employ to scale the business. What are some of the other growth strategies you would employ in this business if you were to keep it and grow it?
Well, Craig, you saw the website. The website is very, very, very easy to maintain. I barely spend 30 to 60 minutes a week on the website. Sometimes I forget that I have a website. So what I say is just SEO, and if the new buyer has someone to write them articles, like 2-3 articles every 2-3 weeks. So basically like one article a week, and SEO, that would be it. It's a very easy and passive income website.
And what type of work do you do on the business to maintain it?
Okay, so basically what I do is I check my emails, like if any user needs help, which rarely I receive an email, maybe like one email every 1 week or 10 days. I check if like all the transactions are successful on my Stripe and PayPal account. Mainly I check changes on the website, like everything is working. Takes me maybe like 1-2 minutes a day. And honestly, that's it.
Excellent stuff. Yeah, definitely a low maintenance business. But what skills or requirements do you think there are for someone who isn't familiar with this niche or type of business model?
Okay, so for someone, let's say a potential buyer, he needs to at least understand how to use WordPress, the dashboard, because everything in the front end and the website is laid out in the back end or the dashboard in WordPress. So even if a buyer is not in this niche and has no clue, everything is easy to understand from the dashboard, and the website can be run easily without any preceding understanding in this niche.
Absolutely, yeah, and they'll have that developer contact to help them if they need that help.
Of course.
So what do you think are the biggest risks with this business that a buyer should be aware of?
So the biggest risk, if I may say, is not knowing how to run the Google Ads. Because if the buyer doesn't have time for SEO at first, or the budget, if the buyer doesn't know how to run the Google Ads, which, by the way, I optimize these ads every 4 to 6 weeks, which is still easy. But if the buyer has no clue running the Google Ads, this might hurt the business with time, of course.
Absolutely, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Excellent stuff. We've covered a lot of great things about your business, but overall, putting yourself in the shoes of a buyer, why do you think this is a business worth buying?
Actually, this is a great question. I wish I was in a parallel universe where I was the second buyer, so I can buy it to myself in the second universe. But the buyer is receiving a website which is 100% passive income. So this demands like 30 minutes to 60 minutes a week, as we said, attention from the buyer. This is a passive income, and this can scale. This is still in its infancy. So if we look at our competitors, they are making 5 to 10 to 15 times more the profit we are making, even more. So the right buyer with the right SEO guy, this is like the perfect, like too good to be true passive income. And you know the website, you know what we're talking about, Craig, and you know that like this is a great deal.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, the problem you solve in the niche is always going to have a lot of demand, and the way you set up the website to be as automated as possible, that results in it being a passive website, which gives the buyer opportunity to focus on the growth of the business and scaling it to the next level. So yeah, certainly an excellent business we have for sale today. I would totally agree with that. So regarding the sale of the business, would you commit to a non-compete?
Of course. I will commit to a non-compete. I will not compete. And I'm going to shift my focus from this niche, as I said, to my new mobile app, baby dating app, you know? Not dating app for babies, but I mean like my new baby dating app.
Absolutely. And you might even move on to a parallel universe in the time, you never know. But so how much support are you willing to offer buyers? Are you going for the standard 30 days of email and Skype support?
Yes, I can support the new buyer. More than that, if like every once in a while the buyer has some questions, some advice, maybe jump on a call with him. Even after 2 months, like he has some questions, something new happened, definitely I can support the buyer. I have no problem.
That's good to know. They can always be in contact with you if they have any questions. And are you open to negotiating something like an earnout?
An earnout is not something I am interested in, because I am looking for the money to invest them in my new project as a bulk. So yeah, that would be it.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to share that I might have missed?
Well, you did not miss anything, but I need to focus on one last thing, SEO. So SEO is like someone who cracked the code for this website. If the right buyer has the right SEO guy, he can 10x the website. And whenever the right buyer unlocks the listing, he can see what we are talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally agree. We've covered a lot of good stuff today. So yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for your time, Pierre. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks a lot for your time.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. To learn more and see if this listing has already been sold, head over to empireflippers.com/marketplace and search for listing 52066. If you're watching this on YouTube, click the link in the description to go straight to the listing. Once you've unlocked this listing, you'll be given everything you need to know about this business. So until next time, enjoy your digital journey.